The Paralives devs have quietly dropped that they're moving on to the next stage of the game's development, and we could be getting some really exciting new features very soon. In the notes for the most recent patch, it's mentioned that the team is scaling things back in order to prioritize optimization and long-term development. The Paralives devs are officially moving on to focus on the first free expansion that's expected in the last few months of 2026, which is so exciting. In the roadmap, they list this as a major update, but I do think that the small change in words calling this an expansion is very interesting because it really sounds a lot more grand compared to major update, and I think it kind of speaks to the size and the potential scope. We don't know exactly what this expansion is going to include and just how many features it'll have, but they did say it will include exciting new features and content, and we do have a list of features that are planned to come out during early access that include things like weather and seasons, pools, pets, family trees, and plenty more. I recently did a video where I was taking a look at both the modding system and the game files, and I managed to find some draft versions of features that the team have been working on for a while but aren't in the game just yet. And I'll link to that video if you're interested in everything I found, because I found a few surprises that aren't listed anywhere on the roadmap, like burglars and some other interesting NPCs as well. But there were some features that aren't listed, and one of those was gardening, which I was so excited to see. I managed to find the Blender files for realistic looking crops like tomato plants, pumpkins, eggplants, and carrots, and I was genuinely so impressed with how they looked and all of the different stages and everything. They were amazing. I really do feel like gardening could be a strong possibility for the major update at the end of the year, especially considering that these 4 crops have already been created, but also the general store has some sections blocked off and kind of marked as coming soon, and that does seem to kind of hint that gardening, pets, and potentially an improved cooking and ingredient system are in the works. We don't really know if it's going to include one of these major features or maybe multiple at the same time. I've also been wondering if maybe some of the features that had been announced during the game's development that didn't quite make it into the game on launch day might be coming in the major update as well. In the past, we've seen things like paras taking their shoes off at the front door, and also functional zip lines that have obviously had some work on them already because there was a little bit of a showcase, but they weren't finalized for the launch day. Technically, we do have a zip line from the mountaintop park that goes to the back of the castle, but there's no animation for this, so a para just kind of walks up to the zip line, then the screen goes black and you hear a bit of a noise before the para then teleports to the other end of the line. Since many of the components are kind of already there, I do wonder if it's possible that the devs have been polishing this off to include in the major update. Obviously, this is purely just speculation at this point, but I do think there's a decent chance. Another one of these unfinished features is editing your para out in the world instead of in a separate para maker room. We saw Maggie get edited right inside of her loft, and also Sebastian was in his kitchen. The ability to edit a para exactly where they are in live mode is actually already in the game and in the modding system, so I would imagine that this feature is officially coming probably sooner rather than later. And since it's in the modding system, I did make myself a little mod that lets you click on a mirror and then edit your para right next to it. So let me know if you guys want it, because I could expand it for wardrobes and then just pop it on the Steam Workshop, but let me know if you guys actually want it at all. It's not perfect because sometimes walls or other objects are in the way, which is probably why the devs haven't included the feature just yet, but the bones of it are there. The Paralives team have also said that from now on, patches just like this most recent one will be spaced out a little bit more while they work on the new expansion, but they will also be pushing out hotfixes as needed when they solve important issues, so we're likely to see a few smaller bug fixes and changes dropping randomly throughout the next few weeks and probably months as well. Another thing that was called out in the patch notes was prioritizing optimization and long-term development. So just because they're working on this new expansion doesn't mean that they're going to stop making other improvements, and many people have complained about small optimization issues like minor stuttering and lag, all the way up to major issues like lag to the point where the game is pretty unbearable or the game just doesn't even run on their computer at all when it should. So the team is going to prioritize optimization going forward, and in this most recent update it does include various optimization improvements. So the patch notes specifically say, in an ongoing effort to reduce lag spikes and stutters, we've optimized the code when parafolk animations are loaded, when the newspaper is generated, and when buildings in the way of the camera fade out. I've actually seen a user on Reddit with the username HeyDevonGaming point out that NPC autonomy is set to fire every single frame, which basically means that every NPC like townie out there in the world is checking 60 times every second if certain conditions are met, and then if they therefore need to perform some kind of action. So apparently changing this to once every 2 to 3 seconds instead of 60 times per second improves the game performance significantly. So they did report this to the devs, so hopefully this is something that's going to get looked into, because it sounds like it could be a very promising improvement if it does get implemented in the game. This most recent update gave us expandable rows in both Paramaker and build mode, improved embarrassed animations, and also added a new camera mode that players have been absolutely begging for. Hello, Sims 3 camera. So if you have either the Sims 3 camera script mod from Arrow Now or Twisted Mexi, you might want to delete them and try out the brand new built-in version in the game settings. And while we're on the topic of camera mods, if you've been looking for a free camera mod that works just like tab mode in The Sims, I highly recommend the free camera mod by Lazy Duchess, which is a script mod, but it's absolutely amazing. Definitely worth it, especially if you want to take screenshots. I just wanted to mention that because not a lot of people know about it, and I've been using it basically since the game came out, since Lazy Duchess published it. The mod itself is free, it's super easy to use, and yeah, really handy for taking screenshots. The recent update also included some bug fixes for the relationship information tab, the TV and radio, sitting animations for children, various animation fixes, optimizations for various lag spikes and stutters, plus a fix for households full of dead paras that are refusing to vacate their homes, and a bug where time would progress in Paramaker, so paras could die while being created. I never had that myself, but it kind of reminds me of that bug in The Sims 2 where Sims could freeze to death if you had the season's expansion pack and then used a custom creator sim room. That was crazy, kind of funny, but yeah, not great if you're spending a lot of time creating a character and then they just die. If you've already had some time and played around with the new update, let me know in the comments what you thought of the new features. I'm certainly happy about having more columns in build mode and also having one less mod installed. But thank you guys all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye everyone.